Hello everybody, there has been an interesting development about the new season of BattleBots. Somebody recently asked Team Whiplash if there was going to be a round of 32, if there's Desperado tournaments coming back, etc, etc. So, Team Whiplash responded with, yes, we're going to have a round of 32. This probably means there's no play-in matches, because remember last time, a bunch of robots had to fight again to get into the top 16 because it was too close. Now they're doing a top 32. That gives some of the robots that were kind of on the edge, like Bloodsport, a good chance at making it further in the tournament. Is the Desperado tournament back? No, something even better. Now I'm very excited for that. Personally, I quite enjoyed the Desperado tournament anyway, but, you know. Are there a series of play-in matches? Not really, of course. And is there still going to be a fight card format? Of course. The fight card format, it's really hard to imagine BattleBots any other way right now, so I'm so glad that that's returning. Okay, on to the point of the video. Now that we know most of the robots that are going to be in the season, I've got a lot of fights that I hope happened already, because it's already been filmed, so it's too late to make this video. But anyway, getting on to our first of those fights, Hydra versus vsmee. Now, I was very lucky because both of these teams released new photos of their robots very recently. You see vsmee's official photo on the right, and of course one of Hydra's configurations on the left. The reason I want these two to fight is because, firstly, it would just be so mad. Like, imagine vsmee flying through the air, but then imagine vsmee just like surrounding Hydra. Obviously, we don't actually know how if vsmee works yet. Apparently, it was so long it couldn't even turn in the test box. So anyway, explaining what both of these robots are. First of all, Hydra. We all know what Hydra is. It's like, it just came out of nowhere. I thought it was going to be a hydraulic lifter, so I wasn't really excited for it. And then it sent Warhawk into orbit, and like, just sent it flying through the air like a watermelon. And I was never the same again. I was so surprised at this flipper. So obviously it's got so much power, and they're obviously like, kind of replaced Bronco as the big flipper, for now at least, because Bronco was teasing something as well, but like, for now Hydra is the big flipper in BattleBots. And vsmee, of course, is like, it has two configurations. It has that massive kind of wedge that we saw it use in its beta weight version of vsmee, where it's just two kind of pods driving a massive wedge, and it just stops things from getting around it. But they've also included like a configuration where they can wrap around their opponent, as we see in this picture on the left here. And now that's going to be very, very interesting. And it's got two undercutters as well, because it needs active weapons. So I have absolutely no idea how this one will turn out. Firstly, if Hydra did the same thing it did to Warhawk, then vsmee would be sent into like, vsmee would be split in half. It would be so funny. But vsmee would look so awesome in the air, and then Hydra, I don't see how it could respond to vsmee if it got swarmed. So I'm just really, this fight is just more because of curiosity. I just really want to see it. What would happen if these two fought? It's like, oh, let's have two nuclear warheads and throw them at each other. Let's see what happens. It's that kind of energy, do you know what I mean? Right, moving on. Huge versus Witch Doctor. Now, this is one of the more sensible fights, mainly because I think Witch Doctor has a very, very good chance at winning this season, unless they go up against Huge or possibly Endgame. Like, remember last year, nothing could stop them apart from Bite Force, and Endgame is like Bite Force but with more power in the vertical spinner, just less armor and stuff. So Huge, of course, is a bit of an oddball. So Huge is honestly one of the best robots, because how do you attack it? Unless you've got a horizontal spinner that can slash through the HDP of the wheels, it's very, very hard to attack Huge. Like, Witch Doctor, for one robot, is not going to have any reach. You can't hit the wheels with a vertical spinner, and also you can't hit the chassis with the vertical spinner. It's too short. So Huge is like attacking from above, essentially. It's just got the answer to every single vertical spinner. About the decision with Whiplash last season, I really didn't agree with that. I really didn't. It was a bit of a dodgy decision still, but Huge proves that it can put up a fight against some very good verts, and I think Witch Doctor would be included in that category. So of course Huge put up some amazing fights last year, pulled a surprise out of nowhere and beat Bronco, beat Gigabyte as well, lost to Sao, but it beat Hypershock. So pretty good record for Huge. It's made the top 16 in its first 2 seasons, which is very, very impressive. Very kind of unique design as well. I think the team were the first to try the kind of horizontal spinner in between two massive, vertical spinner between two massive wheels. And a lot of teams, especially here in the UK, have kind of taken that design and, you know, changed up a little bit. Like Captain Jack Spinner's got a vertical spinning disc, but it's basically the same kind of chassis as Huge. So very inspirational robot there. And Witch Doctor, of course, came second, won the Remaster tournament. Sorry, Jonathan F, for showing 2 pictures of Bronco being absolutely humiliated. So how would this fight turn out? Like I said, Huge would probably come on top because it's got all the reach with the vertical spinner, unless they go with that stupid short one that they used against Ice Wave or Sour, can't remember who it was, but they could jump on top, they could destroy the ribs, they could get the wheels. Witch Doctor, on the other hand, I don't know how they would answer to Huge if they were drawn up against each other. Like, I can't see that Vert getting any kind of damage on those HDP wheels. It's just not the right shape. So they would have to get pretty inventive if they wanted to beat Huge. But all in all, it would just be a very interesting fight to watch. The next fight that I want to see, Fusion versus Tombstone. Yes, this is another one of the more crowd-pleasing suggestions of mine. Fusion versus Tombstone. Fusion, of course, is the new Team Waiachi robot, replacing Son of Waiachi for now. It's got a horizontal spinner, it's like a spinning rotor at the front, and a spinning drum at the back, and it sounds like a jet, honestly. It's just phenomenal how loud this thing is. Tombstone, on the other hand, is Tombstone. We know how good it is, we know what it can do, and Fusion is a really, really interesting robot, as is Tombstone, but Fusion is really interesting because it has a counter for everything. If a robot goes in with wedgelets, then it can just destroy them with the horizontal. But if they go in with a wedge, then it can get underneath it with the wedgelets at the back and hit it with the vert. So, unless it's unreliable like Falcon, I can see Fusion doing extremely well. As for how this fight would turn out, I think Tombstone would beat if they went horizontal to horizontal, because Fusion's is not as heavy, obviously. The core is made of aluminium, obviously not as strong as Tombstone's steel blade, and if they went vert to horizontal, who knows what would happen. We've not actually seen Fusion in a fight, we've only seen it chuck a washing machine through the air. So another one of those fights, just thinking who would win if they... I cannot wait for this season, honestly. Right, next fight, Chomp versus Mammoth. Again, this is not really a crowd pleaser, just a wild suggestion of mine. Chomp is, of course, the 500-pound walker. I haven't seen any pictures of it actually completed yet. Neither I haven't seen any new pictures of Mammoth yet. So I just want to see these two fight, because firstly, they're both huge. Mammoth is absolutely massive. They've got their rotary kind of lifter thing going on. Obviously, they had a pretty good record last season. They beat Mammoth and Axe Backwards. Lost to Wanhu, an uppercut, and another robot who I forgot. Oh no, they beat Foxtrot. So, Mammoth is capable. It's capable. Probably not championship winning capable, but still, decent machine. And Chomp as well. Chomp we haven't seen in a while. Obviously, it's incredible the technology that goes into Chomp. It's got a walker, and automated kind of like turret thing with a massive hammer on the end. It's going to be absolutely mental for anyone who faces it. So Chomp would have a chance against Mammoth with that hammer. Mammoth is very robust, so maybe Chomp's hammer would do something, maybe it wouldn't. We don't know the power of Chomp's hammer yet. It looks powerful, but again, we can't actually know until it's fought something. But if it gets the right kind of hit, there's no doubt it will destroy Mammoth's motors, or maybe even the wheels or something, or maybe even that like kind of weapon chain that Mammoth uses. On the other hand, Mammoth is either going to flip Chomp over successfully, which is phenomenal, or they're going to flop on their face, and I think it will be that they flop on their face, because they struggled to flip uppercut last season. So unless they have like more lifting power, it's going to flop on its face, and that would be hilarious. So both very, very entertaining bots, and best of luck to both the teams as well. Okay, the last matchup that I want to see, you're probably not going to be very excited by this one, but I am. Hypershock versus P1 versus War Easy. You can tell I'm a motorsport fan, right? So, Hypershock versus War Easy versus P1. They all look like race cars. I mean, come on, P1 is a race car. Hypershock has got those tyres, they look like Pirelli tyres, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at that. And War Easy is like Hypershock but red, and with a vertical bar, so it also looks like a race car. And anyway, I just want to see these three, just run around the arena, fly through the air, and just absolutely destroy things. Like, last season against BreakerBox, Hypershock ran over the Minibot and did like a 180 off BreakerBox's scoop. Imagine what it would be like against P1, which is a flipping McLaren, and War Easy, which has already destroyed a tyre. I mean, that thing looks like a tank. So, I just want to see these three fight first to see who's faster. Then, of course, to actually destroy each other. P1 is a very competent robot. They didn't get to show it last season, but it is a very tough robot. And this is, it just looks fantastic. Same with Hypershock and More Easy. The teams have outdone themselves here. It looks absolutely amazing. So, who would win? Probably Hypershock. I haven't seen More Easy in action in the arena, and of course, P1 has a lot of surprises. So, that would be an awesome fight, and it's definitely one that I want to see. So, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for the amount of subscribers that have been coming in recently. I honestly cannot believe it. I think it was 100 in the last month or something. That's incredible, so thank you guys. Sorry, the test box was put on hold this week. I can't find any robots that are being tested, so apologies for that. Hopefully it's back next week, if I can find enough footage. If not, then so be it. We'll have another video like this. And thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.